A long time ago, a rich man lived in a faraway kingdom. This rich man was a trader. He had 3 daughters. 2 of these daughters were arrogant and pretentious, but the third was modest and kind. The arrogant sisters constantly spent their father's money and bought jewels and dresses for themselves. The third daughter, however, was never a burden to her father and rather helped with the housework and loved her father. One day, bad news arrived at the house. The man's ships were lost in a storm. The poor man lost everything. Only the house they lived in was left behind. Of course, the greedy sisters did not like this at all because their father had to sell this stuff at home to make ends meet. The sisters complained and sat all day, doing nothing. All of the housework was left to the beauty. The beauty never complained. To the contrary, she always thought how she could help her father. After a while, new news arrived. One of the lost ships had returned to the harbor. The father wanted to take his horse to the city and put his work back in order. Before leaving, he asked his daughters what they wanted from the city. The 2 sisters thought their father's work was good again, so they asked for jewels and dresses. The beauty, on the other hand, did not want anything. The father asked the beauty several times because he wanted to buy her a gift too. So the beauty said just a single rose would be enough. The father left the house and started riding his horse towards the harbor. When he reached the harbor, what he saw was not what he had expected. All of the goods in the ship were either lost at sea or damaged, and the ship was almost useless. The man sadly turned his horse around and returned home. On the road, night fell and weather changed. Now traveling became a struggle. At that moment, he saw a light far ahead. Hoping that it was a place he could take shelter, he traveled towards the light. When he reached the light, there was a magnificent palace in front of him. He left his horse in the courtyard and knocked on the door, but there was no answer. So he slowly opened the door and entered. He called out to see if anyone was there, but there was no reply. As he advanced inside the palace, he saw that a fireplace was ablaze, and there were amazing foods on the table. He called out once more, but again there was no reply. So the man sat at the table and ate the delicious food, because he was very hungry. Afterwards, he started looking for a place to sleep. When he entered a room, he saw a nicely made bed waiting for him. He thought this palace must belong to the magical fairies. And as soon as he laid on the bed, he fell asleep. The next day, he woke up and saw that there were clean clothes on the bed. He understood that the secretive host had left them there. He changed his clothes and went down to the hall. On the table was again an amazing breakfast. The man thought that this kind but mysterious host prepared everything. So he ate the breakfast, and after thanking the empty hall, left the palace. As he was preparing his horse in the courtyard, he noticed the beautiful roses growing in the garden. Thinking, I couldn't buy what my other daughters wanted, but at least I can give my beautiful daughter what she asked for. He plucked one of the roses. At this moment, the ground started to shake and a horrifying roar was heard. When he turned to the voice, he saw a big beast that looked like a lion, but was in the shape of a man. He cowered with fear. The beast approached him.
I greeted you as a guest in my palace, gave you the best food, and a clean bed to sleep in, and this is how you thank me?
It roared. the terrified man apologized many times and explained that he had taken the rose for his daughter, waiting at home, and he had had no bad intentions. The beast softened a little, but said there should be a punishment nonetheless, because the man tried to take something that did not belong to him without permission. The beast said that one of the daughters was to willingly come to the palace and live with it, but the daughter had to come willingly. This was the man's punishment. If he didn't do this, the beast would kill him. So the man had no other choice but to accept this request. When he returned home, he told his daughters about the damaged ship, the palace, the beast, and the deal he had made. The two daughters were very angry, but the third daughter was very sad. Her sisters told her that this was her fault. After all, she was the one who asked for a rose. Therefore, she should go to live with the beast. The third daughter agreed to this and returned to the beast's palace with her father. When they entered the palace, there was again a beautiful fire in the fireplace, and there were delicious food on the table waiting for them. They sat at the table and started eating. At that moment, the beast appeared. The beauty was very frightened when she saw the beast, but the beast greeted her and her father with a very soothing voice.
"I hope you liked the dinner,"
it said. Seeing the beast's calmness, the beauty relaxed. After eating dinner together, the beast asked the beauty if she came willingly or not, and the beauty answered yes. The beast thanked her for this and told her that she had to say goodbye to her father and left the room. So the beauty said goodbye to her father and went to the room where she would live. The room was prepared for the beauty. It was very cozy and nice. There were many musical instruments, pretty dresses, jewels, and books in the room. So the beauty started living in this palace. She rarely saw the beast. Usually, it accompanied her during dinners. As days passed, she started to get used to it too. Every day she read books, tended to the garden, took walks, and played musical instruments. As she spent time with the beast, she noticed its interest in books and music. It played the piano flawlessly and always spoke very kindly with the beauty. One day after the dinner, the beast asked the beauty if she would marry him. The beauty was very surprised and very harshly said no. She thought the beast would get mad, but it wasn't so. The beast was very heartbroken, left the table, and wished good night, and went to his room. As the days passed like this, the beast would accompany the beauty at dinner every night, and then repeat its proposal after dinner. However, the beauty's answer was always the same. She didn't want to marry the beast because he was very ugly. Then, one day, she dreamed that her father was sick. This dream felt so real, she wanted to see her father. She shyly asked the beast if she could go see her father. And the beast said, "Of course you can go see your father." And he gave her a ring. When she put the ring on and went to sleep, she would wake at her father's house. When she took it off and went to sleep, she would wake up at the beast's palace. The beauty promised the beast that she would return within 1 week. The beast said that if she didn't return within 1 week, he would die from grief. The beauty told it not to worry, and she would return within 1 week, and went to her room, put the ring on as the beast had told her, and went to sleep. So indeed the magic ring worked, and in the morning she woke up in her father's house, in her old bed. She immediately ran to her father's side. Like a dream, her father was sick and bedridden, but when he saw the beauty was so happy, he started feeling better. The same day her sisters, who had married a while ago, came to visit to their father's house. They were very surprised to see the beauty there, and they were also very envious because the beauty's dress and jewelry were very beautiful and looked very rich. They decided to play a game on her. When the beauty told them she could stay for only 1 week, they made a secret plan. They thought, let's make her stay longer than 1 week so the beast will get angry and kill her. They cried in front of the beauty, telling her they missed her a lot and they wanted her to stay 1 more week. The beauty was fooled and thought her sisters were really sad, so she accepted to stay. However, before long, she realized she missed the beast and also thought about the promise she had made. She saw the beast in her dream that night. He was lying lifeless on the palace's hall. The beauty, waking up from this nightmare, thought, I'm so selfish and cruel. A promise made should be kept at all costs. She realized she wanted to go back to the beast's side immediately. She removed the ring from her finger and went back to sleep. In the morning, she opened her eyes at the beast's palace. She started waiting for the beast, but the beast didn't come. So she went looking for the beast in the palace. As she was searching the rooms, she noticed the beast was lying on the ground. The beast was lying without moving, just as she had dreamt in her sleep. She ran to the beast's side with worry and fear and hugged him. The beast's heart was still beating. He opened his eyes. He was speaking with difficulty. He told the beauty that he had given up hope she would return. He told her that he had stopped eating and drinking, preparing to die. The beauty, fearing that she would lose the beast, realized how much she actually cared for the beast, because the value of some things are only understood when they are lost. She started crying and told the beast, please don't die. I love you very much and I want to marry you. At that moment, a miracle happened. The whole palace started shaking and the beast was glowing brightly. The beauty was dazzled and closed her eyes with her hands. After the shaking stopped and the light dimmed, she opened her eyes again. But there was a very handsome prince in front of her instead of the beast. The beauty stepped back and asked him what he had done with the beast. The prince's answer was surprising. I am that beast, said the prince. A long time ago, an evil witch cast a spell on me and turned me into a beast. Only if I found a wife who would love me in the form the spell would be broken. And you, beauty, have given this love to me. Thus, the spell is broken and I am back to normal. The beauty was very happy to hear this. She found true love through her kindness. The beauty and the prince got married, and they lived happily ever after.